Hey family, I wanted to share this since I read it last week in this book, Princess Bride book by Carrie. This is the funniest thing I've read in a while. So, he says, meanwhile, back on set, there were the three of us, Fezzik, Inigo, and Wesley, ready to storm the castle. We rehearsed the scene a few times, making some adjustments to the timing of my head flops as per Rob, the director, as per Rob's instructions. And when we reached the point where he was happy with it, we began rolling. However, we got to the moment where I wake up from being mostly dead, and I say, "I'll beat you both apart. I'll take you both together." Fezzik cups my mouth with his hand and answers his own question to Inigo as to how long it might be before Miracle Max's pill begins to take effect, by stating, "I guess not very long." As soon as he delivered that line, there issued forth from Andre one of the most monumental farts any of us had ever heard. Now, I suppose you wouldn't expect a man of Andre's proportions to pass gas quietly or unobtrusively, but this particular one was truly epic, a veritable symphony of gastric distress that roared for more than several seconds and shook the very foundations of the wood and plaster set we were now grabbing onto out of sheer fear. It was long enough and loud enough that every member of the crew had time to stop what they were doing and take notice. Except, of course, this one wasn't in the script. At the moment of impact, I couldn't help but look up at Andre, at first wondering, like a good many others, if we were experiencing an earthquake, and then having discovered we were not, out of sheer concern for his well-being. The sonic resonance was so intense, I even observed our sound man remove his headphones to protect his ears. As the fart continued, I looked back at Andre. What struck me, besides, of course, the sheer immensity of the wind, was the steam that appeared to be rising from his hairpiece, which, given that it was a particularly hot day, was apparently not unusual for him. It was, however, combined with the fart itself, a highly unusual sight. I remember looking up at him as a huge grin flashed across his face and remained there, a grin of both amusement and, I suspect, of blessed relief. Finally, the roar subsided and the set fell completely silent. Everyone was in a state of complete shock, not knowing what to say or do, as is usually the case whenever anyone passes gas in public, especially in polite England. The next line was mine. "Why won't my arms move?" But at that moment, no words would move from my lips. They were in there somewhere, rattling around in my head, searching for an exit, but it soon became apparent that getting them to utter forth from my mouth was useless. Between the fart, Andre's grin, and the steaming hairpiece, I was done for. I could not help but burst out laughing. Then Andre started to laugh too. Not a snicker, mind you, but that wonderful, deep, guttural laugh of his. Then, as was usually the case on most movies, when the giggles happen, it spread like a virus, hitting Mandy, Rob, the entire crew. Now, it should be noted that when this happens on set, some directors try to let the cameras continue rolling in hopes that everyone can regain their composure in a fairly short space of time and get back to the scene. On this occasion, that hope was pure folly. And so it went for the next couple of takes, Andre's line followed by the sound of uncontrollable laughter. And not just from the three of us, but from everyone, as I tried to say my line, "Why won't my arms move?" But it was no use. We tried a few more takes, but they were all in vain. Every time I would think I was past it, I'd look at Andre and his big grin and the smoking hairpiece, and the giggles would erupt all over again, between myself, Mandy, and Andre. Finally, Rob realized that someone had to try to get the scene back on track. "Okay, guys, let's try this again," he said. "Andre, are you okay? You need to take a break?" No, boss, I'm okay." He paused. "Now." More laughter, even from Andre. That's funny stuff.